Go Gilbert, we are back with another Go Gilbert business spotlight. These are my favorite things to do is introduce you, the great people of Go Gilbert, to local small businesses that you can help support. So without further ado, we are here with Mark Daniels, air conditioning and heating with the very own Mark Daniels.
How you doing?
So, Mark, tell us a little bit about your business, meaning it's air conditioning and heating. So do you do service? Do you do sales? Maybe both?
We do, yes, we do service. We do new installations. We also do preventative maintenance. Indoor, about anything that having to do with your air conditioning, we can take care of.
So I've got a few questions because air conditioning comes up a lot, especially in the real estate world. How often are you supposed to be servicing your air conditioning unit?
We have a preventative maintenance program where we come out twice a year. Typically, we're going to be starting all of our air conditioning maintenances or tune-ups real quick here. Usually they're done in about March, April is the air conditioning. And then we come back out again in the fall, November, December, and run through the heating system to make sure everything is working properly and safe on that as well.
So it's interesting. The majority of people I run into don't have their units serviced. They only have someone come out when there's a problem. Can you stress how important it is to maintain your systems?
Well, if you think about your car, how long would it last without ever changing your oil?
Right.
An air conditioner is just a machine. Things need to be cleaned, oiled, checked. A lot of times on our preventative maintenance checks, your system may be working, but we can see things that are going to go wrong so that you can take care of them in March instead of over the 4th of July weekend.
Well, and that's true because how hard is it to have someone out when your air conditioning goes out in the middle of July and you are roasting inside your house? It's hard to get someone to come out to repair it, right?
It does sometimes it takes longer. We do pride ourselves on being able to get to just about anybody that day. We're a very customer service oriented company, and yeah. I understand how hot and miserable it is in your house. So we do everything we can to get out there that day, but it's a lot more stress. Running around trying to find somebody that can get out there right away. When if you were to have a company come out in March, go through everything and give you a report on how everything looks, you can save yourself some discomfort and stress in the middle of summer.
Well, sure, because when your AC goes out in your house and it's 125, it doesn't take very long for it to be 125 or 150 inside your home, right?
No, and some of the other things too, besides keeping you cool, we can make sure, because I have had so many people ask lately about, my God, my electric bill was so bad last year. If your system's not running up to snuff, you're going to pay more on that electric bill. And with today's new equipment, things are so much more efficient. There's rebates from power companies. There's a lot we can do to help with that monthly electric bill as well.
That's a great point, because some of the older homes with the older units don't cool off as efficiently as some of the new units.
Right. Definitely.
Someone Facebook user just asked, what areas do you service?
The entire Phoenix metro area.
Awesome. So do you go to Gilbert?
We go from Gold Canyon to Sun City West. So absolutely, we go to Gilbert. We love Gilbert.
No, that's awesome. Okay. For annual maintenance agreements, 2 maintenances a year. Prices are based on how many units you have. That's true. Perfect.
Let's see. For annual maintenance agreements, we do 2 maintenances a year. Yes, they are. Sorry, I'm trying to read the crawl down here.
I know, I was too.
Our one unit maintenance agreement is $189 a year. That includes 2 trips out, a spring service, a fall service, and that also gets you a discount on parts and labor throughout the year, priority service throughout the year. If you had a 2 unit one, it's $209 for if you had 2 systems in your house. And I mean, they go up from there depending on how many units you have in house.
So that 209, if you have 2 units,
right?
Which means basically, if someone's wondering, you've got 2 big boxes right outside of your house.
2 big boxes outside of your house are typically 2 thermostats inside your house.
Okay, that's another way. And so it's $209 for 2 services.
For 2 services on a 2 unit house. So if you only have 1 unit in your home, 1 thermostat, it's $189 a year to do that maintenance agreement. I mean, we also come out and just do a tune-up, a one-time tune-up kind of thing as well. It just depends on what that customer's needs are and what they want to do.
Well, and that sounds like a really good deal, honestly, because that's something that comes up in inspection reports all the time, is that the new buyer wants to know what it would cost to service the units, or they want the seller to pay for it. And they always ask for a service, like service receipts, and any times that you've had the unit service, that always comes up too. So how great if you're on a schedule and it's something you could provide. It actually adds resale value to your home.
Yeah, and we do that. That's one of the other benefits with the maintenance agreement. We do the auto scheduling. So, I mean, a customer can always call us if we haven't called them. But yeah, you'll get a call from Samantha in the office, and she'll, set up your appointment in November, set up your appointment. She's going to be very, very busy over the next few weeks setting up all of our maintenance agreements for the spring.
Well, and I love that, because I would probably forget, but if I've got Samantha calling me and getting me on the calendar, then I can't forget.
Right. Yep. No. And we do
you guys do that.
We do use a software, a dispatching software as well, and so that every technician that comes to your house has access to all the history and everything that's been done on your unit since we've been taking care of you. So it's a real handy thing to have as well.
Are you a couple questions. One is, so the old units that took the R22, there's still those around, probably a fair amount.
There's a lot of those around.
Yeah. So can you still get that? Is it coolant? Coolant. That's a car, isn't it?
It's the R22 Freon.
Freon, that's the word.
They don't make it anymore, but you can still buy it. And so that is one of those things, because we don't know where that's going to go. It's supply and demand, and right now there is a finite supply. They won't make any more, but I mean, you can go down and I can still buy a drum of it today if a customer wants me to. But that cost will, as time goes on, be more and more expensive.
Do you recommend someone actually upgrading if they have an R22 system, budgeting to upgrade that?
You know what? That's really up to the homeowner. It's not. Homeowners are very smart. They know what they have. They know if their unit is old. They know if their unit typically is R22 or not. It's just my job to give a homeowner information, and it's their job to decide what's best for them. We never high pressure sell anybody. There's just no reason for it. I know. When I'm seeing a question, we don't do water heaters. I'm sorry.
So I have a question in regards to the amount you're paying in your utilities. You mentioned earlier. So is there an idea of someone who had maybe an R22 unit, an older unit, and then decided to upgrade to a newer unit, a new AC unit? Can you talk a little bit about the savings, the monthly savings on your utility bills that you've seen?
Yeah, there's a lot of different
variables. I know.
We can, most equipment, not all, but most that's still running is probably a 10 SEER or lower piece of equipment, the older stuff. A SEER rating it stands for seasonal energy efficiency ratio. It's just a way to rate how efficient that machine is. There's not much left out there that's less than 10 SEER. Right now, the minimum requirement is 14 SEER. So manufacturers aren't allowed to manufacture anything less than a 14 SEER. They go up to 20 plus SEER now. So let's just basic math. If you have an older house, it's 10 SEER, and you buy a new 20 SEER unit, and you run that unit the same way as you ran the old unit, you'll cut your electric bill in half and then some. Is that helpful?
I love that. Thank you for explaining. So helpful. That's kind of an easier way to look at it, especially with the SEERs. A lot of people don't know what that means, and now they do.
Well, hope so.
Yeah. No, thank you. That was a perfect way to explain it.
There are numbers in between. You got a 14 SEER, 15 SEER, 16. I mean, they go up, but I mean, basically, yeah, they start at 14 and they'll go up over 20 now.
So one last question, just because this comes up, and I think a lot of people don't understand what's going on in their house. But most people have a heat pump, would you say? Can you talk, or maybe not most people, but talk about the most common system with the compressor outside and then the furnace in the attic, right?
Yeah, that's a split system. So you have two kinds of systems. You have a split system, which is split in two pieces. You have the unit outside in the backyard, typically, and the air handler or the furnace would be maybe in a garage or up in the attic. Then you also have your package units. That would be the unit you see on top of your roof. To know what you have, if you have an electric heat pump, and you're not sure if you have gas or electric, if you have an electric heat pump in the wintertime, your condensing unit's going to run outside.
Oh, gotcha.
That would be one way to tell. Or if you have gas to your house, you probably have a gas furnace, but not necessarily.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, it's you. You're typing the information as you talk.
Just kidding. Type something.
I approve. So, what I want to tell everybody of Go Gilbert is to contact you, Mark Daniels, Air Conditioning and Heating. But what's the best way to contact? Is it over the phone, through the website?
There's multiple ways. The fastest, easiest is with a phone call.
Okay.
We also have an email contact form, and we'll get those usually, but we don't. Phone call will get you that fast. So that's the fastest way to get us. But you can always send in a request over our website on an email as well.
What are your hours?
We're a service company, so all the time.
24/7?
Somebody told me a long time ago, if you don't take care of your customers, somebody else will. So
that is so true.
So yeah, you can call, and unless it's 2:30 in the morning, somebody will answer the phone. I'll get a ring, and as soon as I wipe the sleep from my eyes, I'll call you back.
The joys of owning your own business, right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mark, for coming today and talking to everybody in Go Gilbert. You have a ton of information, so I really appreciate you kind of explaining some of those things that come up all the time, especially in real estate.
If somebody has a question, they can certainly call, or they can even email a question. I'm happy to get back to anybody. I just love the trade. I mean, I wouldn't want to do anything else ever. I just love the trade, love getting out, meeting new people.
I love it. And speaking of trades, I'm not sure if you knew, but Mike and I are your Go Gilbert Realtors, and we have a team called the Shooty Group at Keller Williams Integrity First. So if you or anyone you know are looking to buy or sell a home, contact us, and we would love to take care of you and answer all of your questions on real estate. So that's my plug.
I hear it's really hard right now to buy a house in Arizona.
It is hard, but Mark, we are professionals and we get the job done.
Good deal.
Awesome. So thank you again, and you have an outstanding week, and we'll be talking to you soon about more air conditioning.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.